I wanted to talk about maybe...
Oh, wait, one more thing.
What?
It's like, there's this...
It's like, oh my gosh.
You're
it's
turning
like,
into Nana. Okay. No offense, Nana.
And please, try not to upset your grandmother during this podcast. Because last week she was
I
mad.
love you, Grandma.
She was mad last week.
It was your fault.
No,
it was. You're the one who brought up George Michael.
Okay, just try to be appropriate this week. What do you want to say?
This is my fault for having you on my podcast.
It's your fault for having me in the first place.
Well, I can't help it.
What?
This is not a good idea.
No, it is not.
We are in trouble.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our podcast. This is Kerri Pomarolli.
And Lucy McGee.
And this is...
Not a good idea.
And that's the name of the podcast. So Lucy, how do you enjoy your newfound fame with our podcast and your whole school
Fame?
knowing about it?
Oh, do you mean like the various children? As the principal was told by a teacher that we have a podcast, so she announced it to the entire school.
I was happily thrilled.
And then my friends started spamming links in the Zoom chat.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool. So I want to talk to you about my week. Something happened. I got to be on the Babylon Bee podcast.
Don't know what that is.
Well, care. So the Babylon Bee is a satire website.
It's like a spelling bee for people in like ancient times.
No, it's called the Babylon Bee, and it's a Christian satire. They have a million people. Andreas, you can fact check this, but they have...
You know, I still think it's a spelling bee for people in ancient times.
Well, first of all, don't talk.
Like
it's
how
my
to
story.
spell aqueduct.
It's my story. And so I did this podcast with these dudes. And by the way, your mommy got asked to be a writer on the Babylon Bee, which is
Did you
a big
turn them
deal.
down?
No, because I'm like their first, maybe second woman ever to write for them.
Oh, yay.
So it's like
Feminism.
progress. Yeah, I'm Betsy Ross. So
You're Betsy Ross.
the podcast came out yesterday.
Do you know what Betsy Ross did?
I was joking.
Do you even know who
She made the American flag.
Supposedly. But what else did she do?
Does it matter? That's pretty good.
What? No, she did something else. It was a bit of a legend. What did she do?
Oh, well, since you know everything, what?
She like hung it on a thing, and there's like a story behind it.
Can you try to speak more clearly? She hung it on the thing. We have people on a treadmill right now are trying to listen to this podcast, and they're like, maybe if the girl knew grammar. Can we go back to my story?
Yeah.
So the podcast came out, and they titled it, "We Need More Women, More Estrogen, and More Mormons." Okay, and that was controversy enough. But one of their
Mormons. How many Mormons do we need?
I don't know. One of their social media people posted this picture of me, which you did see. And if you really want to see it, you can go to the Babylon Bee.
It's in black and white.
If you go to Babylon Bee on Instagram, Babylon Bee podcast.
It looks like a mugshot.
It does not. It just looks like a little crazy eyes. And I realize why I don't want to be a super famous celebrity, because the hate that was coming out. There was an online argument about
How do you know that wasn't me?
Well, maybe. But they were like, she looks like a murderer. Oh, she's got crazy eyes. And then my people.
Shit.
So I went on my Facebook.
And then my people complimented on my eyes.
Yeah, no, my people were like, you're just a misogynist and you're just saying that because she's a woman. And if it was a man, you wouldn't comment on her eyes. And then they're like,
yes!
They're like, we don't even
Woke
know.
Society.
And then this one guy's like, we don't even know if women are friendly. And they're like, or funny. And then she's like, she schooled you. And then so my people were fighting with the troll people. And there was a big YouTube fight about my crazy eyes.
What is happening?
I know. How do you feel about your mom having 15 minutes
of fame?
Oh,
no, that's not what's crazy and what's happening. The song Betty Davis Eyes is just replaying in my head right now, but like a remix version mixed with Blue Monday.
Now, I know you'll probably never, ever, ever sing on this podcast, but you were compared by the song leader at your school to Kim Carnes, who sings Betty Davis Eyes, which is the best compliment anyone could ever give you.
I do look in Carnes.
Yeah, do you want to sing?
No.
I didn't think I could get away with that. But so yeah, it was kind of weird. And then I spent a lot of time last night writing comments. Like this girl's like, she looks creepy. And I was like, thank you so much, Jen244. And then they're like, she looks like Whitney Cummings. And I was like, I love Whitney. And then my roommate, Debbie got on there. And she's like, y'all need Jesus. And she's like, and then my goddaughter, Tiffany, got a YouTube account just to fight people. She's like, why are you making fun of her for her facial features?
Why can't I get a YouTube account and start fighting people?
Do you want to fight
understand?
people? That
That is literally my life goal. I love trolling. It's so much fun.
Wait, you have to fight the trolls. You can't be a troll.
I can be a troll to trolls. That's the point.
You're an anti-troll.
I'm not an anti-troll. I'm literally a troll who sees other people trolling, so I get in on that trolling already.
I would think you would want to.
Because then I don't look like I'm in the wrong.
But wouldn't you want to defend your mother?
No.
My honor?
Your aunt? What honor?
Okay, like that I don't have crazy eyes.
You don't have crazy eyes, but I can't disagree.
Oh, shut up!
You're my mother. You have crazy eyes.
You're probably the one.
It's what motherhood does to you.
But you have my eyes, so if I have crazy eyes, then you have crazy eyes.
My eyes are much lighter than yours, and the doctor said I could go blind if I don't wear sunglasses outside because the sun will actually affect the melanin within my eyes to the point where they will just get lighter and lighter until they turn like really like
Take a breath.
Bad eyesight.
Take a breath. So, I wanted to talk about maybe.
Oh wait, one more thing.
What?
It's like there's this.
It's like, oh my gosh,
You're
it's
turning
like,
into Nana. Okay. No offense, Nana.
And please try not to upset your grandmother during this podcast. Because last week she was
I
mad.
love you, Grandma.
She was mad last week.
It was your fault.
No.
No, it was. You're the one who brought up George Michael.
Okay, just try to be appropriate this week. What do you want to say?
So, well, now I can't say what I want to say.
Yeah, good.
Okay. No, I'm going to say it anyway.
If it's inappropriate,
It's not
you're
inappropriate.
grounded.
It's a natural growing part of life.
What?
Sorta.
Do you want to talk about your first bra? Is it
what?
time?
That-
It's time for your first bra.
What do you think this
Wait,
is?
Did you just? Oh my gosh!
What happened?
You just showed your bra.
It shows anyway. I'm wearing a tank top.
Oh my gosh!
I'm wearing deodorant.
We just got an R rating, and it's your fault.
What?
We did.
No, we didn't.
YouTube will now not let us be.
You can see, like, there's a strap
Oh
right
my
here.
gosh! Now you're a flasher.
I'm not flashing anyone.
Okay, what did you want to say?
I just wanted to say that people with less melanin in their eyes, supposedly there is a science study done that they can get drunk not as fast, so they can basically hold drinks more than people with darker eyes.
Do you have less melanin in your eyes?
Yes, I have
Oh, so
practically.
they're
My
saying-
eyes are practically gray,
They're
so
saying you would be a lightweight drinker.
it means that I could drink a lot and like not get super hammered.
Let's not explore that on the podcast at age 13, shall we?
Okay.
So, I don't know. Now I feel bad for bringing up a serious topic, but I feel her father just came in and was like appalled. But I feel like, we adults maybe don't give you guys credit for when you kids go through stuff, and you went through something.
Go through stuff.
You went through something a couple weeks ago, and I want to talk about it because
What
I
did
feel
I go through a couple
you
weeks
got in a really serious car accident. You did.
Oh, yeah.
And you could have died, which would have sucked because, like,
it would have sucked.
who
because
would do
then,
my dishes?
Because then I wouldn't have been able to,
like,
make memes and
Like,
use
yeah.
my life
for
usefully.
the greater good. So, just so people are listening, you're okay, your sister's okay, your dad's okay. But Andreas, I don't know if I told you, they were driving down Mulholland Drive, was it?
This giant sports car just goes boom, and we just got.
Okay, that's her version of it. Ron was making a left turn.
And I was listening to Rhythm Theme.
Rhythm what? Rhythm theme? Do you think that's the problem? I don't even know what rhythm theme is.
Okay, so if there's any kid my age, or maybe before, that would probably understand. Mostly Gen Z or anyone who really listens.
Andreas, do you know rhythm? See, you
So
lost
there's
Andreas.
this thing called Rhythm Thief from this old video game, but it's mostly known from this meme songs. But I was listening to Rhythm Thief but cursed, and it was on YouTube.
With your father?
And it was this whole thing, and right when the car hit us, right when it was going downhill. Right, okay.
Okay, so you're exaggerating the story already because there's no hill.
No, the song. The song goes
So you
down.
were listening to a song with curse words?
No, it's Rhythm Thief but cursed. It makes these bad noises because when you lose in a game, it makes these random noises.
Okay, this is not what I was going for. People, if you're on
I kind of laugh.
you're on
at
the
it.
elliptical right now, please keep listening. I'm
And
gonna try to
another
bring
thing
it
is,
back.
I kind of regret not touching the airbag.
Wait, can we just tell the people what happened?
Yes.
You got in a car accident.
Car bash.
You did get you got bashed.
I got bashed.
You and your dad and your sister got hit by a car when they were making a left turn, and the car hit your side. And as Ruby will tell anybody, God and the angels saved you because you could have died.
She also really wanted to watch The Mandalorian.
Well, she was coping in her way.
The Mandalorian.
You were coping in your way.
Roblox and Mandalorian is her coping mechanism.
So, some people drink.
Why can't I do that?
Well, you can't. So,
all
I
around.
was freaking out. The ambulance was called. I came to pick you up, and then you guys wanted to go to McDonald's.
I did not want to go to McDonald's.
Ruby did.
Ruby
We
did
got
not
cheese.
care.
That was my way of.
Ruby doesn't care. She guilt trips people.
But
So now this car crash was just free ammunition.
I felt that I should try to show your love from me by getting you guys McDonald's on the way home. But can we be serious
When
for
I
a second?
begged you to go home?
Can we be serious for 2 seconds? Can you not be a snarky jerk?
Can I not be snarky?
Yeah, I'm just saying for 2 seconds.
Oh.
It was scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had pain the next day.
And the day after.
And the day after.
And the day after. I still have pain, but yeah.
And you had nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
And you weren't sleeping.
I still don't sleep.
Really?
That's why I slept in till like 10:20.
Okay, this is news to me. See, this is like mother-daughter bonding, parents
This
listening.
is bonding?
Maybe you should tell me that you're not sleeping. Did you find that it was hard to talk to your parents about it? Were you
I
scared?
didn't want to talk to anyone.
Why do you think that was?
Still really traumatic.
And do you feel like that was one of the worst things you've gone through in your...
It is the worst thing I've gone through, and I seriously don't want to go through that again.
So that was worse than your parents telling you you're getting a divorce?
Dude, I laughed at that.
You did not laugh.
I did
at
laugh.
that.
I laughed at it, and I tricked my counselor to thinking that I was, like, in need of help.
So he would buy you a free operation game.
Yes, and I still have that operation game.
And the counselor that we hired to get you through the transition of divorce said, I'm not coming back. I can't take your money because she does not need any help expressing herself.
I seriously thought it was, like, a very normal thing to go through a divorce.
Well, a
Because
lot
everyone around me had divorced parents.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think that we downplay that kids go through serious stuff, whether it's a car accident or your parents are going through a divorce. And if kids can't talk to their parents about it, what are they supposed to do?
Therapist.
You did. Yeah. Okay. So you feel like that would be helpful to talk to a stranger?
Yeah, because then you don't have to, like, worry about them. They have actual confidentiality rules where they can't actually tell the parents unless you actually want them to, unless it's something really serious.
So if a kid was going through something, would you recommend that they go to their parents and be like, hey, I need to see a therapist?
Yeah. Well, no, because the parents would be like, why? And then they'd be like, it's personal. And then the parents would be like, well, if you can't tell me, then you obviously can't tell this therapist, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of therapy. Therapy is because you don't feel comfortable talking to your parents, not because you don't like love your parents or don't trust them, but because literally this person is a
But I think they should
professional.
take the risk and go to their parents if they really feel like they need to talk to somebody.
I personally recommend a therapist.
That's what I'm saying. They should take the risk and go to their parents and say, I need to talk to a therapist.
Yeah, they should do that. But like, if they don't feel comfortable talking about it to their parents, I seriously recommend.
So what do you think about this new COVID? I don't even know if you know about it.
This new COVID?
Shh. There's a new thing in COVID, and it's text therapy, which I think is like kind of weird.
But doesn't that mean the FBI can like look at your text messages and be like, ah,
She's messed up.
yeah.
Like when you run for Supreme Court someday, they'd be like, well, you had that text therapy session when you were 13, and we say no.
Yeah.
So you don't agree with text therapy only for that reason?
You know what I also don't agree with? Zoom therapy.
Okay, but what if you're quarantined and you can't leave the house?
Which sucks. Don't take therapy then.
But what if you need it?
Like, get everyone out of the house because everyone in the house, sound travels. You can, like, everyone can hear you talking to your therapist.
Now, you've only talked to a therapist a couple times in your life, and
I refused to be anywhere near anyone. That's why I'm kind of little, like, I don't want to do therapy.
Well, it was offered to you at your doctor's appointment.
It was offered to me, but it's going to take a couple weeks, so.
You wrote on your hand again?
Yeah.
Who's the heart?
It's not a heart.
Who's the heart? There's a heart on her hand.
No, it's not. It's
Show
not a
it.
heart.
Okay, show your heart to you.
It's not.
Show your hand to YouTube. Show it right now. Show it.
No.
You know what? I'm gonna say what it says, or you show it.
You don't know what it says.
It says L plus.
You didn't even know the.
What's it say?
No.
Well, I'm closing this podcast right now, and I'm gonna out all your issues unless you show YouTube. You're horrible. It says L Lucy plus.
Here, there it is.
You're a jerk.
Look. Red heart.
Maybe you should go to therapy and talk about it.
That'd be therapy.
Yeah, I think you do. But that's a whole nother podcast. Well, I feel like we've learned not a lot today, except for kids. If you're going through something, go to your parents.
Go to your parents.
You said go to your parents and say I want therapy.
I'm like half and half on that because most parents would be like, if you can't talk to me about it, then you can't.
I
talk
was
to
not
therapist.
like that.
No, you're very open to it, but I'm like, there are parents out there that would do that, so.
You know why I'm open to it? Because your insurance covers it and it's free.
Yeah, I know why you're open to it, because you just love to eavesdrop.
Yes. And on that note, we're going to end our podcast today. But I want you guys to write in. Our email is thisisnotagoodidea@gmail.com.
We have an email now?
Yeah, we have an email.
Oh, we have an email.
And you can go to my social media links at Kerri Pom. And please go on the Babylon Bee podcast links or Instagram and Facebook. Find my crazy eyes picture and say Kerri Pomarolli is a delightful human being and not a known serial killer.
Not a serial killer, not yet.
Right. I mean,
She
after
makes
this,
it out of this
after
COVID
this
and it's
episode,
struggling.
I'm not sure. But thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Say bye.
Bye.